easy to do. You've got a car on your racing line, and it's a blind apex at the top of the hill, and you fly off. These drivers race in cockpit view as well, so they've got the same vision as a driver. And what was that fastest lap time you said at the moment, Ed? A 1:26 is the top time.
Yeah, 1:26.603 by Sven Gielhed. He's just gone a tenth faster on his last lap.
Interesting, because the slowest time we had at the touring car race here was a 1:10.692, but they used the national circuit. But the fastest time was Gordon Shannon, a 1:08.994. Now, adding in that we used the Melbourne hairpin for the EERC touring car, that averages out, that it adds about 11 seconds to the overall lap time. And that is amazing. For a quick flowing circuit, the Melbourne hairpin really does put a dampener on everything.
Yeah, I just saw Joop Lahoven as I heard a bit of a bump there. As Joop Lahoven was just having a big lockup, just exiting Craner curves. It was just after Craner?
Yeah, just after Craner, yeah, coming through. And that's in the Volvo S60, isn't it? As they come down. This is turn one, red grate as well. Past Senna back in 1993, getting round the outside of, at that time, I think it was, what was it, Schumacher? And he dealt with Prost and Hill before they got up towards the Melbourne hairpin. And was it from 5th down to 6th and up into 1st by the end of the first lap. Donington has had Formula 1 history. It's had Formula E history. It's had touring car history as well. Interesting enough, though, the World Touring Car Championship doesn't race here anymore as well. If they do use the British round, they go to Silverstone, which I find a shame because there's so many great tracks in Britain as well. And Donington is right up there for me with one of the top ones because it's just spectacular. I mean, we've got a car upside down at the Robert chicane. Now, how's that happened?
I dread to think. I think someone's had an incident on the curb. That looked like one of the Seats to me.
Yeah, so it looked like he flicked it into the left-hander at Roberts, maybe hit the curb and jumped over. I did see another car leaving the exit, so if there was a tap, these touring cars do roll, as we've seen numerous times over this generation, across both British Touring Car and the World Touring Car Championship. Forward to next year as well, when touring car really takes their first step in towards hybrid power. The touring cars are debuting it with the hybrid powers for 2022. World touring cars, I think, having it in 2024 with a view to go all electric by 2028, which I find interesting. I know DTM's going it as one of the Honda Civics goes straight to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's ended up
in support series, I believe, as Francisco Perez, the friend of on driver, takes the Honda right into the wall just after Redgate, I think.
Yeah, that's just to think the top of the hill at Hollywood, wasn't it? Just before go dotting into Craner curves. I'm very much interested to see how that happened as well with the glitch to go straight through. Let's thank God that the barriers for real touring cars don't take that. Otherwise, certainly last weekend with the British Touring Car Championship, well, actually the weekend before, there would have been several problems with cars going through the barrier. Adam Morgan springs to mind on one of them as well. There's another Honda Civic Type R just screeching its rear tyres at the top of the hill at Coppice.
And because we still got qualifying that's yet to begin, that's going to set the grid for our first race. I hope you guys can still hear me because I'm lagging on my end. Oh, there we go. So once we've got the grid set for our first race, we'll have a 30-minute race based on that grid. Then there'll be another 30-minute race at about 8 o'clock UK time based on a reverse grid of the results from the first race. So that's how we're going to do it. Keep in mind, we may have another test race either later this year or at the start of next year. And the touring cars is basically being envisioned as a kind of in-between event to sort of have a less serious race in between the long endurance races. And it's a good opportunity as well to get new drivers into the championship, a bit of GT training, I guess, although we want to avoid what happened at the very end of the GT3 title battle in Spa, where the two leaders had crossed the line after hitting one another, and the number 7, winning the race winner, 9 laps in the lead, ended up having an engine failure right before the line and had to be pushed by their teammate. And it was a bit clumsy way to end the race and end the season, but definitely entertaining as we see. Oh, very wide at the back there.
they've been practicing. They've been knowing this race has been coming now since Saturday. So as soon as most of the
I'm not
drivers
sure how
will
much
come in,
practice they've all been doing. Especially Nick Homewood just said, I said, good luck, and he said, I'll need it, which makes me think he's not practiced that much.
That's what I've been worried about as well. Have they literally just not had the time during the working week to get some practice in?
Oh.
Is that a massive cut of the Melbourne hairpin, or are we lagged out?
No, that is, I believe, the cars are being sent back to the pit lane and qualifying about to begin. Yeah, look, everyone's in. Here's Fabian Ballet. We saw do a brilliant job for Reading Game Studios. Took the team's first ever podium in EERC.
Oh, there's a crash in the pits.
Oh dear, amateur hour already as the Seat and the Russian liveried. Looks like one. Is that one of the Volvos or one?
Yeah, it's one of the Volvos. We haven't even gone green for qualifying yet, and they're already trying to jump the queue at the exit as well. And Nick Homewood is going to be doing a fit at the moment as well. Looking at all this.
There is Nick Homewood in all of this. There he is. He was the one who got hit at the beginning and spun around in the pit. So he's had to immediately teleport. And look, big British flag on the top of Homewood, because that's Tom Chilton's car, of course. So no wonder. But there we go.
Yeah.
Sven Gilhead, fastest in practice and fastest out of the pit lane for the 14-minute fine. There we go. Let's see what the number 10 can do. It needs to make sure that they're not overtaken by... Oh, there's Wozniak in the other car. Having a big moment there. Really wants to get past the Volvo. So we're seeing the faster drivers held up, and Wozniak goes back to the pits. He thinks he's not going to get a clean run on this occasion as Sederland overtakes. That looks like the number...
I think it's 68, I think, looking at the monitor. Quite distance away. As the number 10 now getting out of the way, the 61 going through, the Volvo.
68 is Peter Schumann and the Lada, of course. The Russian flag is for the Ladas.
Of course. And very elegantly put, actually, as there's already contact as well. 10 getting into the 61, down at the Roberts chicane. And, of course, they're all backing out of it now because they don't want to get in a train. It's a short lap, realistically. But with the limited qualifying, effectively, you get, what, 2 runs we were discussing? They've really got to keep their head down.
Yeah, it's about 96, 97 second laps. So here we go. Sven Gilhead. Lauren Budd a little bit just the very start. Look at the line. You sort of had to cut back in. It's almost like a V-shaped line you have to take into that hairpin, the final hairpin of the lap. Gilhead goes into Redgate for his first flying lap.
Right now,
there's yellow in the final sector.
Spinners.
And Ballet looks like he's got a bit of trouble ahead, but it may just be a bit of lag. Let's go back to Gilhead if we can, as Ballet starts his lap. There we go. Into Hollywood.
Old hairpin. Nicely done.
Hairpin, yeah, sorry.
Kept it on the track. I think you're fine, Dad. If I want to go Martin Brundle. Yeah, this has been a smooth lap so far. There's more cars getting launched into the background, into the kitty litter as well. And this is a problem as well if we're experiencing a bit of lag as well. I wonder how much the cars are actually sticking to the surface as well. The last thing you need is for the server to glitch and you're in a braking zone like what we just see across the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, keep in mind, we're not using our regular streaming PC because that costs money and we use it for the the endurance races. So we get it for 24 hours, but unfortunately for the 2 hours of this, we're not going to get it. So
someone was spinning at the top of Coppice as well. They've retreated back to the pit lane. Looked like one of the Volvos. I think it was Stefan Nielsen getting out of the way.
And here we go, Gilhead completing his first flying lap. Oh, look how wide he goes. But that's just a natural line, isn't it? You want to get the turn in. You want to carry as much speed into the corner as you can get away with. And Gilhead crosses the line. What time is this going to be? It's not come up yet. There's still no time for Gilhead, so maybe he had to do an outlet. Oh no, there we go. It's just straight up 128.8.
That's 2 seconds off what they were doing in practice.
127.8. Sorry, I misread that.
Okay,
28.8 was for Jarp Lahoven, who's just behind him.
That's all the traffic then. So they were a second a lap slower than what the times they did in practice. And for the cars behind, it adds on another second. So already the traffic becoming an issue. Touring cars can run in pack racing, but for qualifying, when they're set up slightly differently as well, they're more unpredictable. They're on lighter fuel loads, and they do slide and they do clog up effectively. It's like when you've got trains that are delayed, and then you get to one station, you've got two of them right behind because the other one's caught up with you. It's completely ridiculous. To try and get some space. I always find that touring car qualifying is always more dramatic than Formula One qualifying because it's so much pressure in just a short amount of time. Formula One cars can do an out lap, a fastest lap and an in lap in around about 5 minutes. For touring cars, around the same length of track, it takes double the time. So 3 laps effectively takes about 6 or 7 minutes. To do 2 runs, it takes 10. This isn't a long qualifying session, so they're always on it. They're always trying to find track position. So there's always something to watch. One mistake, you're at the back of the grid.
There we go. And we've just seen, while you've been speaking, Josh, the provisional pole with 10 minutes remaining, changing hands 4 times. Sven Gilhead has just got it back from Nassim Alouai in the Volvo. And Gilhead's time 126.3, 6 tenths faster than Alouai's best effort in the Volvo. But looking very competitive at the moment. This bodes well if this ends up being a full season of next year, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And this is what I keep saying as well. They are right on it. Dramatic as anything as well. And they will continue to push. And that lead pole position time will keep on changing as another lock-up into the odd hairpin. And they're in the gravel as well. Lap time gone. Retreat to the pits. Get a new set of tyres. Try again. You don't want to waste time. One mistake, you'll see them pressing escape and back to the pit lane. Yeah.
Keep in mind, we've still only had 9 drivers set lap times at the moment. I think, at least competitive lap times anyway. I think Ballet has just set one. So Perez, Holden, Veaches, Homewood, Eggert, Nilsson and Luca Gray all yet to get a competitive lap on the board there, which is, I think they may be outside the 107% time, or they haven't set a lap at all. So let's hope that they can rectify that in the last 9 minutes, because there we go, a couple more adding their names to the bottom of the board. 5 seconds down, that looks like Staffan Nilsson, one of the admins at EERC. No team affiliation, interestingly, so we'll have to see how he gets on. Maybe he'd be a good candidate for a new team coming in. Yeah, if they wanted to enter into shorter races, doing touring cars, then Staffan Nilsson might be a good shout there.
I'd agree with you there.
Fabian Ballet. Oh, is this a better lap? Yes, it is. Second place. Let's see, 126.8. So 10th faster than Nassim Alouai, another new driver, as Ballet completely wrecks into Redgate. That's the left-hand tyres all into the gravel, and the Chevrolet Cruze TC1 will have to come to a complete halt in a very dangerous position that currently occurs just before it teleports back to the pit lane.
So 5 tenths down on the overall lap time at the moment. We've got a 126.301 as the fastest. Ballet goes P2, but looking at it down as well, we've still got 4 cars left to run on the board, so there's still a lot more time to come as well, and those times can be crucial. They found a gap in the traffic, as we see Homewood as well, just over a second before cutting back as well. Now looking at the 63 on board, this is where the key factors come in.
Oh, is he purple in the
third?
This is a purple. There was a purple in the first sector, but it's 24.4. It keeps flashing green and purple for me.
Yeah, he's doing that.
That might be because his last lap was that. So let's see what this effort ends up being.
Gotta be quick.
Here we go through the S's. Oh, clobbers all through the bollards. But no penalty for that. Goes towards Melbourne. Where's the 63 going to break? Oh, late as he dares, isn't it, Joshua?
Late as anybody would dare, especially into Melbourne. And so late in the lap, I'm surprised he made the risk. He obviously thinks risk and reward might pay for some more track positions.
And he's much more on the inside. He's carrying a lot less speed, actually, on entry. He's very quick on the exit, Nassim Alouai. Let's see where this puts him. It puts him second, ahead of Fabian Ballet.
126.7, yeah.
3 tenths still off of Sven Gierhead. We knew Gierhead was going to be competitive. He has just won 3 races in a row in GD3 class in EERC, endurance races. So it's no surprise to see his pace, because the number 7 consistently, I think they only had 1 pole all season. They were always in the top 2 or 3. in qualifying. As we look at Alex Hallows stationary in the pit lane, not going to be seeing much good lap times out there.
Yeah, should we be surprised about that? I feel like we should not be.
Well,
really.
what is surprising is Nassim Alawai in second position in the Volvo. As we look at Geelhead venturing back out and looking good to put that Lada on pole at the moment. I can't see Alawai getting on song with him as Hallows finally exits the pit lane. And
Where's that
to give the
yellow
Honda
come
Civic
from? It was Alex Howes, yeah.
Yeah, just exiting the pits and getting back up to full speed, I think.
So we've got now only 2 drivers who haven't set a lap time. Piers and Gray in the 18 and 9. And there you go, Piers now does a 2 seconds off the time board.
Ooh. Like Geelhead just
flashing.
going in the gravel there, but that wasn't actually the case. Geelhead 24.1 in the first sector, but Ballet 24.4, not too far off. Both personal best sectors.
Look how much they're sliding though, the rear of the car
and
through the
Ballet
chicane.
24.029, faster than Sven Geelhead in the second sector.
So this is getting tense now as well. More times beginning to improve. New personal best, I think, at the moment for the 63. Improving.
And the number 9 has a bit of a moment. We're not sure quite how much of that was lag and how much of that was Ballet just struggling to keep it in the middle of the hairpin. I
think I saw some smoke from the rear tyres and they're torturing them.
But the Geelhead has just set a 125.8 first man in the 125s and has instantly gone back to the pit lane. I think that could well be the pole time there, Josh.
Braver man to bet that, if that is the pole time.
Well, Geelhead could probably go even faster than that if he really wants to.
Well, 4 minutes left, so I would say give it another... Yeah, go on then, I'll agree with you.
There we go. So it's a rare time we've been in agreement, which just shows how varied our commentary has been. Always bring different opinions to the table, and we'll see which opinion comes out on top this time.
I don't want to put the personal bet on mine because you've got way more correct information at your hands than I did.
Oh, that's very true. I've got a timing screen and a bunch of cameras. So
yeah, you can see. I've got like a BT style setup. I've got the world feed, I've got the YouTube, and I've got the team's names just alongside, so I can see 3 pictures. But you've got control of everything.
The Ballet just set a 126.592, so still a tenth faster than Alawai, but let's see, that would be almost about 7 tenths, I think, off of the lead.
Yep,
just under 7 tenths actually. So Ballet doing an impressive job, continuing what we saw at Spa, really, at a completely different circuit, but still, certainly showing some impressive pace, which hopefully Reading Game Studios are going to take full advantage of. You start EERC Endurance Championship Season 3 next year. So here's Alex Allis in 6th position, doing pretty solid recovery considering he was in the pits not too long ago. And somebody moved up there. Let's see, Hallows still in 6th.
Is it Wozniak?
Yeah, I think Hallam Boyce set a 127.1 on that last run, I believe, in the Honda Civic.
Yeah, times, as I said, closing down. The track usually in a qualifying session is at its best towards the end. As I've been saying, definitely not the same in a touring car. The track is at its best when you've got free space, free air around you. That will be the best.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye and see if anyone is setting purple sector times here. Doesn't look like anybody in the top 6 is. I've got my
Stefan Nielsen isn't.
Yeah. Not sure why we're watching Stefan. Let's see if we can someone else instead.
Well, yellow again, sector 1. So they're all just getting used to it now.
2 minutes remaining then.
Oh, yeah, 1:25.899 still, as you said. That's still the pole time. So we've now, I'm calculating it was now a second, I think, quicker than what we were in the previous session. Unless that was a 1:24 and I've just completely lost my head again.
But there's Geelhead on an out lap. So this is probably going to be final lap territory now, isn't it?
Yeah, this will be it. This is the last one. Anybody who's now not out of the track will be on their last lap time regardless. Anyone in the pit lane, you're starting from the back.
Yeah, so I think everyone is at least set one time, so everyone will start the race. There'll be no 107% rule as I teased earlier.
Gray just jumped into P10 as well. He's 2 seconds off the pace, but he did get a lap time in, so all 17
yes,
cars
is that
out
the 127.2 by Gray, I think? Yes, he was set a purple second sector. I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Could be if he had free air.
Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I can see, because Hallam Voice has set a purple first sector. But let's see if he can finish this one.
The one good thing I always like to point out about OBS is the fact is that he's got multiple screens. So
Marius Sederlin actually sets a better lap time than Hallam Voice and gets into 5th position. There he is.
Where?
Lane. So that's it. That's his final lap. Let's see if anyone is improving.
This is tense.
Purple second sector for Sven Gilhead.
So now the times are coming down. 27 seconds to go. Here's Stefan Nielsen in the 63 coming to the last corner. This will probably be, I think he's second to last. Has he got 2 runs left in the tank? We're about to find out. Cross the line. Don't think he's jumped up from P16. He has not. Can Gilhold take another fastest time? Fastest of all, sector 2. Cross the line. No. Yes. 1:25.615 improves.
2 temps faster then.
Yeah.
Wow, there we go. So Gilhead laying down the marker as everyone continues and finishes their lap times, and the timer elapses. 2 seconds, 1 second. Session over. Checkered flag out. Nielsen still circulating. I don't see anyone particularly improving. Alloy, I think, set a purple first sector. But it's not going to be quite enough.
I think we've just about seen it as everyone now starts spinning off the track ever so slightly. I think this is crunch point. I think we've got our pulse.
Nielsen just completely binned it on that final run, unfortunately. So that's the big drama. That will be a yellow flag if he didn't instantly teleport back to the pits. So I think that is going to be our order then. So Sven Gilhead takes pole position, but Wozniak jumps up to second right at the death. Brilliant lap there by Mikhail Wozniak. He takes second position. That's the Wozniak, I believe, has driven in the past for 360 Motorsports. And there we go. So a dramatic qualifying session. Your grid: Sven Gilhead, Mikhail Wozniak, Nassim Alawai, Fabian Ballet, Marius Sederlin, Hallam Voice, Alex Hallows, Francisco Perez, and Joop Laarhoven. Your top 10.
Not a bad qualifying at all, as well as I think Schoonman just jumps into P11 as you're riding that out. Still a couple left on the track.
Not quite breaking in the top 10 then.
Yeah, just stayed out, didn't he? Can't tell by how much, but
27.2 for him.
Right, so nearly.
Qualifying server, I think, just being switched over.
What fun! That was a good session, actually. I did enjoy that one. I can't wait for the race, which is about to happen.
Indeed, it is.
Still unsure though, Ed. Is it a rolling start or a standing start?
No, it's grid start. First one these guys have done in quite some time.
Oh, drama at turn 1 then.
You just, yeah, there's the checkered.
Yeah, it's happened. All the cars now just coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can access the. Oh, the horn's going in the pits.
Here we go.
There we go. Everyone's set up then.
Well, we've only got a couple of cars on the grid. The pole sitter and the driver starting 4th on the grid, or third on the grid, have got the front rows all to themselves.
Indeed, here we go. The lights going out, and EERC Touring Cars test race at Donington is about to get going now. And that's a decent getaway for Gilhead. Wozniak having to defend second position from Alawai. Ballet and Alawai sitting alongside each other. Gilhead leads into Redgate. I hope he does, because unfortunately, I've missed myself in terms of the overlays. I've completely covered up my screen, Josh. So
It's
tell me what's
okay
going
so
on.
far as they come down in towards the old hairpin. Few overtakes further back though as well. Clean start though. The number 10 still got the lead of this race. Its teammates 1-2 at the moment as they head out towards into McLean's, then through Coppice as well before the back straight away towards the Robert chicane. So far no spinners as well as the stream reorganises itself and I get my data back as well. Few little dramas further back but nobody off in the gravel and little yellows around as well. The Melbourne hairpin though, I think, Ed, is going to be the big crunch point. That's going to be overtake City in about 5 seconds time.
Yeah, here we go then. But Wozniak nowhere near close enough to make a move on Geelhead. Geelhead has made a brilliant getaway as Homewood battles Luca Gray and gets past. As we're hearing bumping in the background, I assume that's just the curbing. But Homewood not quite able to get in front of Luca Gray actually. Look at them going side by side, but Homewood has the inside. And Gray will have to be content with 12th as Alloy has a look down the inside of Mikhail Wozniak and sweeps through in the Volvo. It's a brilliant, beautiful move by the 63. What can Wozniak do in response? He's
Spinner
still
into the wall. Someone went backwards, one of the Volvos.
Oh dear. I'll have to see who that... I think it may have been Benz Boros who's just fallen down the field of view position. Oh! No, it was... I'm sorry, I'm a bit behind. That was, of course, Alloy. So inexperienced, he just got caught out with Wozniak there. And his race has come to grief. And you can see now Wozniak has got Hallows all in his mid. Hallows has made a brilliantly clean start to get up to third. We'll have to see what the Honda Civic driver can do here. But Geelhead has now got a nearly 3-second advantage as we go into... Oh, and there's Alloy missing the rear wing. So he will have to come into the pits for repairs.
That's race over for him then already. That's even more disastrous in a
this was
short
an endurance
sprint.
race, I would say he's got every chance, but unfortunately it's not. So a promising but ultimately frustrating start to his EERC career for Nassim. Alloy, I'm sure we'll be back in the reverse group race. In fact, I guarantee you will, because he should be starting somewhere near the front. If it's a complete reverse group field of the 17 drivers. Staffan Nielsen has already retired from the race. As we saw one of the, I think that was one of the yellow Seats, the DHL Seats, having a little look, but not quite able to make it through. Veachers and Schoenman very close together in the battle for 7th.
Well, on board with them at the moment. Little twitch in the back of the Honda just in front as well of Piers as they came out. Great job there from Piers as well, I'd just like to point out as well. Didn't qualify until late on. Already up into P6 as well. 125.583, I think, was that fastest lap time from the race leader. So setting qualifying times as well. A little bit of wide moment for Kevin Ventures there as well.
Yes, and Ballet, he just saw Hallows lock up in front of him. It'll be interesting to see if Ballet can mount a challenge on the Honda driver. That Chevrolet crew should be pretty nippy around this circuit, Josh.
Oh yeah, Chevrolets have gone
especially
well
in the hands of Fabian Ballet,
yes.
Of course.
Yeah, especially we've seen what
as
Fabian
I say
can
that,
do.
Ballet goes wide. And now Sutherland is going to have potentially a run at him as that Homewood going wide as well through McLean.
Yeah, so no one's having the greatest of times at the moment as they all try.
Apart from Sven Gillard, of course.
Yeah, right about that. We've got 3 abreast coming into, now 2 abreast coming into the Robert chicane as well. It's okay. They've all got through safely as well as the stream lags on the Combox side, but the YouTube is still running smooth, which is great news.
I'm just seeing the 3 wide now. That shows that I'm lagging too.
Yeah. Test events, that's what we like. 25 minutes to go.
And Sutherland did get by Ballet, by the way, into the S's and the hairpin, I think.
Yeah, closed it over in the back as well. As now we've got was it 3.2 second advantage at the front of the field as well for Gearhold. So he's got the lead of this race. I think he might be the only driver who's practice is coming out of the pit lane. Then is the 63.
There we go. So the 63 rejoins the fray, and hopefully Alloy can stay out of trouble at least and get to the end here. He will probably not start. Well, I'm not sure what happens if you retire, whether you get to be part of the reverse grouping, as Perez overtakes Schoenman for 6. So Perez making a little bit of... who's the penalty for, Josh?
Perez got a penalty for that as well. I would think it was an illegal overtake. As soon as that happened, Ed, the penalty notice came up on the board. So that's
either that or corner cutting, I guess.
Yes, well, it could be. It's easy to corner cut the old hairpin as well as a car in the gravel further back. Can't see who it is just yet. I think looking at it, it was the 68. No, it was Gray. Gray went off the track. As they all run down in towards the Melbourne hairpin. And as you can see, the advantage on the track, 3.240 for Gearhold as well. And Gray now with a penalty as well. He's running in P8 as 2 as Vucic drops down.
Maybe serving drive-through penalties at some point soon, which is good news, of course, for Nassim Alawai, because it gives him someone to race with in this case.
Yeah, big advantage. As another penalty as well. They're all coming to thick and fast now as well. Looking at the board, I'm just going to put the number to the name. I think it was Lederhoven. So the Volvo S60.
Yeah, there we go. So Joe getting himself into the wrath of the stewards. Yeah, so there we go. It's Gray, Larhoven, Alawai, and potentially the other guy, Perez.
Yeah.
I think Perez has emerged in 12th, just in front of Alan Holden. But Alex Hallows continuing to run extremely well in the number 55, and in fact closing on Wozniak. So I think Hallows could be a good candidate to take second position here. But of course, Sutherland is going to be a bit of a threat in that Volvo. Really, this is the big battle, isn't it? Second position.
Well, we've got Gearhold just away in the distance, as well as another yellow sector 2, and another penalty coming up the board now as well for Hallows. Oh dear. So Alex Howells in the Honda Civic.
I assume this must be for corner cuts. As very heavy on the brakes. The Mikhail Wozniak Lada. Lada 1-2 still, by the way.
Yeah. What was that commentator's curse we were talking about? Yeah, it's happened again, hasn't it? It happened in the Spa 24 hour on Saturday, Sunday. It's happened here again on Thursday.
It happened multiple times, as it tends to over the course of a 24-hour race.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, everybody, how often you can develop.
You don't mean to curse people, but you get very tired after about 10 or 9 hours commentary.
Yeah. I've started to have the thing as well where you can say it just happens as well. You get quite
Staffan Nielsen has come back into the race. Alan Holden is apparently showing his DNF on the timing screen. So our third last driver could well be retiring from the fray.
I have zero information going on my screen at the moment, so I'll have to hold on for that as they come back
apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if the stream is a bit choppy or anything, because it's not much better for me either. There you go. Nassim Alawai has gone up to 15th then in the order, as Holden remains in the pits. But here we go. Look at this. Veachers cuts the inside of McLean in a little battle with Eggert and Homewood. So these three have been right together the whole race. Let's see what the Honda can do here. As he looks at the inside of Veachers into the S's. And through he goes.
Nice move.
There we go. Lovely stuff from Kevin Veachers. As we see a penalty for Veachers for that cut we just saw. I'm not sure if any of the drivers are actually having to serve all of these, because I think Perez may have just fallen down to 11th on his own. But there we go. Veachers having a go. And Nick Homewood into the side he goes. Oh, lovely stuff there by Veachers. Really aggressive. Rubbing is racing, as they say in the United States, but it also applies in these tin-top touring cars, doesn't it, Josh?
Absolutely, and they're side-by-side coming down, just coming back to the
Homewood
inside
having
line.
another go, because Veachers makes a big error there and loses both positions that he just gained.
And into the gravel as well. Well, the God giveth and the God taketh away down into turn 1. And Gray gets a penalty as well. That's his second of the race. So already having a drive-through, coming back into P12. He's going to drop now down the order. Loads are locking up for the rear tyres as well as the cars are loaded through the old hairpin. And they're all desperately trying to struggle for grip. We're only 10 minutes in. They've still got another 20 to go, Ed.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's Schoenman holding off Hallam Voice in the Volvo. But yeah, I think, personally, I think Veachers kind of push Homewood off track at Redgate there. I don't really think there's too much ambiguity, unless there's a bit of lag on our end. As you see, Vince Boris going by the wounded Dunlop advertising sign that's been assaulted by someone earlier in this race. 4-second gap to Sven Gilhead. So Wozniak has kind of stabilised it a little bit, but Sutherland has got by Ballet and Alex Hallows. It's dropped down to 7th while we've been watching this. Oh, there we go.
Eggert's off. Yeah, Homeward pushed Eggert off.
The two Springer Von drivers going full guns at one another, aren't they?
Can the race director give himself a penalty?
I'm sure he'd be reluctant to.
Yeah. I'd love to see how that steward's investigation would go, though, as well. Just him staring himself in the mirror, issuing himself a penalty.
And Ballet sets a pretty decent lap time as a Voice.
Gray comes in, yeah.
The Schumann, I think, has got in trouble because he's lost the place to Voice and Hallows. Him and Hallows were kind of fighting one another.
Luca Gray comes in to do his drive-through penalty as Vichas comes in too.
So they are having to serve them then. It looks like there's no negotiation then.
Nope, as another big lock-up. Alex Howell's just coming through. He's still P6. He has...
One of the Hondas coming in as well.
Is that Holden? No, he's registering DNF, isn't he, on the board?
Yeah. Was, Eggert. I just see him going off again. And not the greatest run for Eggert as Vichas himself. That looks like a damaged Castrol Honda to me, Josh. Look at the way it's handling.
That's done.
He's trying to go under the arch there. That's not where you go. Under the viaduct, sorry.
Yeah, Starkey's Bridge used to be a part of the castle here at Castle Donington area. As someone kicks up the MSV board.
Oh, that was Vichas, yes. And we got a face full of it, looking as Larpoven is about to come through there too. I think the auto director's just picking that up because that's where all the action is. So Hallows is right behind Hallam Voice now. They're trying to regain position, so I think some kind of mistake was made. Or Hallows had to serve that penalty, didn't he? That's why he's gone down to 6th, and Wozniak is got Sedlin behind him now.
I've been calculating the times because even though we're using the Grand Prix circuit, the pit entrance is the same as the National. So drive-through here would lose you around about 18 seconds. So I think Hallows has rejoined, 19 behind. So it's round about the same whether we're running. But still, Gearhole's got 10 seconds over Wozniak at the moment. Sorry, 5 seconds. I don't know what's 10 there. 5.047 over Wozniak.
I was going to say, Wozniak isn't that slow.
Yeah, it's because they've both got the number 10 on their board, so it's confusing me. Other teammates.
This is Raw Racing and DAC Hackers both using number 95 all over again.
Yes.
But the second and first place Larders, both number 10, because I guess the number 10 was the only Larder available. But Hallows got a big gap to Perez, but once he gets past Voice, I think there's quite the gap to Ballet.
It's not as bad as one race that we had as a charity event a couple of years ago on our Factor, when all the cars were BMW Saubers from 2008. That got difficult.
Yes, only so many Nick Heifelds before it gets too difficult.
And everyone
a few
picked
Kibitzers in there too.
Everybody picked. I think it was Robbie. No, everyone picked Nick Heifeld because I think he had the blue steering wheel. Kubica had the black steering wheel.
And Ballet has just gotten by Marius Sederland for 3rd position in the race. A big development there.
So podiums.
Pick it up.
Yeah, there we go. Podiums already as they circulate through the back of Starkey's Bridge, through the Swatch curve, up towards McLean's.
Yeah, he's got quite the lead already. So Ballet must have just taken advantage of a mistake because that's Voice, not too far behind.
Of course, he
can hear him coming. He can hear Voice approaching him.
Tyre wear could be a factor because we're seeing everyone's braking the rear left and the rear right as well. The tyre smell you just saw puff up there on the screen. So I wonder how much of the wear you've got on the tyres comes through. They've got to be so careful as they exit.
Exactly. The last 10 minutes of this race could well be time management. And has Sven Gilhead, with a 6.5 second lead, taken all the life out of his tyres in this first half of the race? We'll have to see.
Oh, Holden's and Vichas is out. Kevin Vichas is out of the race.
Oh dear, so Vichas joins Holden, and I believe Stefan Nissen is still basically retired and at the very back of the field. So
that's a Skrulman up the
Actually,
inside.
no, there he is on screen.
Yeah, passing homeward.
Contradicting me.
Homewood's trying to come back on the inside line in towards the hairpin as well. Late on the brakes, typing on the inside as well. That's a lovely manoeuvre to get through. Used the position perfectly. He knew that Skrulman would go
and
wide.
That's his teammate Peter Schoenman as well, that he's just gotten through.
Down on the
Yeah,
inside
brilliant
again.
racecraft from Nick Homewood. Oh, and Schoenemann has a think about it into Redgate. That doesn't have the front wheels alongside the larder. Must be content with 8th then.
Larder's
a lot of
already
action
used it
then
out,
in
haven't
this
they?
this first half of this race, say Joshua.
It's been dramatic, and I think
Everything
this
except the
working
front
well.
has been very action-packed.
That's pretty much normal touring cars.
Yeah.
For world touring cars.
7.8 now behind Gear. I think Wozniak has made an error on that last lap.
Must have. What?
Yeah, it was a whole second slower. Or
It's-
just Gilhead has really got the guns out. 126.3, fastest man on track.
Now, did anybody tell Gearhold as well that we're racing in touring cars, not GT3 cars? I don't think somebody got through the message.
No, but I'm sure he won't care one shot what he's driving. He wants to be in front as Homewood makes an error and Schoenemann goes
Homewood
back
gets
through.
a penalty. Homewood's got a penalty for that error, Ed, as well. So, cutting the corner at Robert Chicane has cost him.
Oh dear. So all that hard work undone in a fraction of a second mistake. As we look at Perez continuing in 6th position. There is Homewood. Yeah, just looking very forlorn. But I'm sure even if this doesn't go to plan, he'll be hoping to improve his position when we get to the reverse grid race as Ballet. And has now caught up to Wozniak. Ballet's lap times have been very impressive. 127.3 that last lap, 3 tenths faster than Wozniak.
3 tenths closing, but still, this could be interesting. What's the gap now between them? Between Wozniak and Bale? 7 tenths of a second. Oh, a bit less than that, actually. They're closing in quite quickly, aren't they? Because that gap's between the leaders, so the interval between them, you've got to work it out for yourself.
Yeah, I could probably have set that up properly.
That doesn't work, doesn't matter.
Attention. Yeah, but,
Mathematics. It's your
Exactly.
Thursday night homework, everybody. Thursday night homework. Don't count its
There we
half turn.
Let's see what Ballet can do. Is that I believe the Volvo is a lapped car
Yeah.
in front of them. So that is going to make it a little bit easier for Ballet to potentially overhaul.
Oh, too late
Lada.
coming in to the hairpin. As they run down towards Redgate as well. Ballet's going to... Now, Ballet needs a great run coming through the old hairpins. And then he can maybe have a go at maybe McLean's. That's, I think, the next logical overtake because old hairpin, it's a single file corner. So if he tries to dive through on the inside there, it's literally like following a rainbow to hopefully find the gold at the end of it. It's pot luck.
Indeed. But of course, the danger for Fabian Ballet is if he can't make this move on Wozniak, and Sutherland not too far behind there in a fight, I believe, with not Hallows, but one of the lapped Volvos that's just letting him through.
Yeah, I think it must be Nielsen.
I believe so. Yeah, it would be Staffan, yes.
Yeah,
there we
that
go.
far back,
Another Volvo in the way. It's
3
Volvo
Volvos.
City, isn't it?
Yeah, how many Volvos have got? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Looks like the
4.
underground car park for an accountancy firm.
Everyone driving Volvos. As Voice gets a
penalty for
penalty.
Voice.
Yeah.
So his protest won't be heard. Voice will be silenced. Sorry, I wanted to say that. Oh, as Ballet really closes under the brakes there. Wozniak under real pressure now as we get almost into the last 10 minutes here, Josh. What can Mikhail Wozniak do to hold off the charging Fabian Ballet?
Make that car as wide as possible on the straights and then just concentrate on keeping it bang on the apex into the corners as well. Donington is a tight track to overtake. The really realistic passing opportunities. Redgate, Old Hairpin, and into Coppice as well. And he's going too wide as well.
Yeah, that's
the
because
error.
of the Volvo, yes, that they're lapping. So I believe Nick Homewood is actually caught right back up to Peter
It's
Schumann.
over. Wozniak's got a penalty for that error, for going too wide. He's got a penalty. Ballet takes second.
No.
And look, he knows he's going to let him through at Coppice.
No point fighting Ballet now, so the battle for second is over. And can Fabian Ballet, it's 9 seconds or so to Sven Gilhead, but can he potentially, in the last 10 minutes of the race, having maintained his tyres, but with Sedland right behind him, and Sedland surely going to get on the podium here too, can Fabian Ballet win this thing, as Wozniak still refusing actually to yield. So he'll just have to come into the pit lane then. He doesn't want to lose it on track.
Got no choice. Have to take the penalty this lap as well, otherwise you'll lose way too much time. So
But Ballet did very well to put him under pressure, and it was one little mistake in Redgate as, there's Sutherland still stuck behind the sister Volvo.
I think he's got a penalty as well as Eggert gets a penalty. Yes, I think Sutherland's got a penalty too.
It's penalties for everybody. Apart from Gilhead. Oh, there we go, Ballet. I'm just seeing him having that little touch at the final
didn't
corner.
come into, yeah, Sutherland
That's
didn't come
because
into the pits.
That happened because Wozniak was aiming for the pit lane, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was getting the V shape as we've been talking about, just trying to cut back into the pit lane quick as possible.
Yeah. The problem when you do the V shape is you have to do all your turning in the middle of the corner rather than at the apex.
And it just absolutely messes up the strategy for everybody else as well. It's also not good for the tyres. You get this unusual little pickup on as well, because it's like you're cutting a diamond. You get that hard tip exterior, and all the little marbles come up in one little place.
Sutherland, having said that penalty, this is going to allow Alex Hallows back to third position if he can beat Mikhail Wozniak out the pits, but I believe he's not done so. There's Schoenman. He's going to overtake Voice. Because Voice is serving his penalty. A lot of penalties, but let's hope the reverse grid. I was going to say, let's hope it's cleaner, but is that going to happen? No chance.
No.
As Sutherland cuts Coppis, was that Coppis or McLean's? He's just cut the insider, so I wonder if Sutherland might be due another penalty. That's a big shame for the rookie driver. So there is Hallows. How far behind Mikhail Wozniak is he now? Wozniak 23 seconds behind the lead now after having served that penalty. So Ballet's really the only one who can catch Gilhead at this point in the last 8 minutes. As we look at Boros, the Paul Street Boys driver, making good progress in number 5. He's staying in 10th. And that's Luca Gray ahead of him, I believe, in the Chevrolet. Bentz looking to get a top 10 finish, and that would set him up fairly nicely for the reverse grid, actually.
So now just into the last 8 minutes, as here's Benz Boros, as you say, Ed. This is a nice lap time graphic we've got here at the moment. You can see the difference between them. Target time 1:25.983, but sector 1 2 seconds down, another second in.
The 25.8 is, I believe, Gilhead's best lap time.
Yeah. As is Alex Howes then, just completing the first sector, coming past Starkey's Bridge.
And Ballet was matched what Gilhead did in the first sector on this lap, but he was almost 2 tenths faster in the first sector.
So all closing, as here is Pascal Eggert, who's 2 penalties so far.
Eggert is caught back up to Homewood then, so we could see a little battle for 11th place then. But unfortunately, Larhoven looking unlikely to be a factor, as Sutherland, I think, has served his penalty and emerged back in 9th. Just behind Luca Gray. There he is, actually. He's fighting with Luca Gray right now, as you can see. And unfortunately, we cut away. Thank you, Auto Director, for not turning off when I tell you to. There we go.
Now they've all just got to close back in.
He's got the outside, though. This isn't ideal for Sutherland, is it?
That's closing into the chicane. Get the cut back to touch. Bumper to bumper, and comes out back on top, the DHL.
Yeah, that would be Luca Gray then in the Chevrolet. Oh, but Sutherland desperately trying to get the cut back. Couldn't quite find the space to get through, but the Volvo much quicker, I think. Only a matter of time, but he's only got 6 minutes to get back into the top 8. But it is, of course, the top 17 who will reverse, I believe. I've not heard any specifics about whether it's a top 10 reverse or if it's a specific top 10 like they do in touring cars, as Eggert continues to pressurize Nick Homewood. But Homewood, he's been for enough in this race. I don't think he'll want to lose another position.
No, I don't think he would. He needs to keep bang on top of this one.
And what's the gap? It's over 10 seconds, isn't it? Ballet and Gilhead, as Wozniak gets another penalty, so Hallows will go up into third position then. Do you think drivers are deliberately getting penalties at the end of this so they get a better chance in the reverse grid?
I would. That's a smart thinking. If they know, they all know it's a first grid, so take the drive-through penalty, convert that to time, and you get the starting grid. Basically, wait to the last 5 minutes of a qualifying for race 2. The stewards will stamp that out though quite quickly.
Yes, we could get a very, very different grid order to the reverse grid. As they're settling, thinking about another move. I think this is the closest battle on track. Everyone else quite far apart. Gray about 4 seconds behind Schoenman as Wozniak pits. Hallows up to third. But Wozniak, I think, is going to come out ahead of Perez, who's about 20 seconds down. Wow, what action. And it's a shame you're going to have to leave in about 3 minutes, so just before the end,
yes,
Josh.
I will be here for the end.
Oh, Sutherland goes
dear.
down the inside of Luca Gray at Melbourne hairpin. That was a brilliant move there. Luca Gray just outbraked himself. Sutherland completely took advantage. And look behind, is that Ben Sporos, Nick Homewood and Pascal Eggert fighting for that 10th position.
All separated by about 0.4 of a second. So that final points paying, well, it's not points paying, is it, for the test events? But what would be the top 10 still being decided as well. They're all getting close together, and there's more lockups coming into the old
and Eggert just squeezing Homewood. Oh, here we go. Eggert now getting past Boros, the Paul Street Boys driver in the Honda wide.
Look,
and I think Homewood's going to have a go at him too. Can Nick get into the top 11 at the very tail end of this race?
That is
Boros.
tense.
I think the tyres on Boros's car are dead as Hallam Boyce, out of nowhere, sets a brilliant lap, 126.6. Where did that come from? Could have used with that a bit earlier, couldn't he? As he fights to catch up to Peter Schoenman a bit further up the road.
Homewood's going to try for a dive bomb manoeuvre on the inside. He's tucked up behind him, coming into the braking zone, locks up everything into Roberts as well. Just touches the back, forces one of the other cars wide. Boris holding back as another penalty on the board, this time for the 63 done in 14th place of Illinois.
Oh yes, I'm starting to regret wishing Nick Homewood good luck, because it's not giving him any in this race, has it?
He's going to try again on the inside. He's trying to do the cut back this time into the hairpin. Brake touching the back, pushes him round the corner, tries to get the cut back. He's going to have it side by side on the run down towards Redgate, backs out of it, tries the cut back, hasn't worked off. Boris will stay P11, Homewood down to P12.
Oh, a penalty for Luca Gray, who's just up ahead of these guys. Oh, so Homewood may just sneak into the top 10 here if he can sneak past Ben Sporos.
Penalty 1 for Homewood, but still he served that. This is contention, another yellow sector 1. Don't know where that is. I'm not seeing anything on the monitor. Still, another lockup. Oh, that's why. Gray's off the track. Gray's off. He's down to 12.
Oh dear, that would be why he got the penalty then. So he's completely spun off, coming through the crane of curves as Homewood continues to pressurise Ben Sporos. He's going to try the outside at McLean as Luca Gray looking a bit damaged. So I think Lahoven may catch him too before the end. But we're into the final 2 minutes then. Homewood, if he wants to get in the top...
Diving up the inside of the exit of Compass, and Homewood takes P10.
Oh, lovely stuff then. And a big mistake from Ben Sporos right at the end. Means Nick Homewood is going to finish in the top 10. Good spot there, Joshua. I was still waiting for that to show up on my screen. But, there we go. This isn't not the same latency as we get in the 24-hour races.
No, usually we're watching the same monitor, same time. This is another unbelievable setup for the first touring car race we've held here on EERC. Even though it's a test event for next year to be a support series to the endurance racing, this is going to create a different kettle of fish and be a lovely kickoff to any race we have next year. Imagine touring cars at races like where we had last year with Mugello, Suzuka. It'd be fantastic. I can't wait.
Exactly. Touring cars at Le Mans, that would be interesting.
Oh, yeah. that would be chaos as well.
Yeah, down those long straights. Yeah, these cars, they don't have huge top speed, so the setup will be key there. As we look at Geelhead on what's going to be his last lap. I think the time's going to run out before he gets to the screen. So even though we're doing touring cars, it's still a timed race here.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be Geelhead and Ballet, the two standouts here. But honourable mention to Hallows getting himself back into third position.
Makes more sense to have it as a time race as well. It keeps everything down.
It means you don't get delayed too much while BBB are waiting for you to help them commentate.
That does help. Yeah, we've delayed quali by 5 minutes because it's nice that I'm also the head steward this weekend for that. So I get to have control of the race control. But 5 seconds left. This will be the last lap as well. And Geelhead will take the checkered flag, hopefully, unless it's a +1 lap situation.
Don't believe so. The timings, I'm looking at the official timing, and it's about to run out to
Decades.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all that remains then is for Sven Gilhead to negotiate the Melbourne hairpin and the final hairpin.
We've jumped to voice, so you better change back.
Oh, yeah, settle in. It's the auto director. There we go. Sven Gilhead crosses the line and wins the EERC TCR test race for Lada. And a brilliant win it is too. 10 seconds clear. 13 seconds clear, actually, of Fabian Ballet, who is just coming around to finish. There we go. So I believe we aren't going to see too many position changes. There's Ballet. He's just crossed. And I think Allis should be coming through too fairly soon to take third position. But a well-earned podium there. But these guys, they'll be starting right at the back. And I think Allis just coming through the final corner now to take a well-earned podium for Honda Civic.
What a fantastic race that was as well.
Yes,
Brilliant
the reverse grid is
race.
going to have to go something to live up to that. But yeah, Hallo's very pleased with that. We don't often see him on the podium in the endurance races, and Hallo's having a big celebration there. And why not? He's earned that one, I think.
I'll have to leave now ahead of race 2, which Ed will take you through as well. Hopefully someone will come and join you. But that was a lot of fun, Ed. Pleasure to be
Indeed
here for race 1.
Yes, so enjoy BBB.
I will.
And let's not forget that we've still got a big announcement to make. I will make it myself, but I think we're pretty sure we're going to do it, aren't we, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, let's say what it is. We're going to enter our own team. We haven't figured out what the name is into this touring car series when it becomes a full series. As Wozniak secures 4th, we're going to call it. I think what was it? Commentator's Curse was the
yes, I think it was
Birch Hunter Birch Racing.
That's
Hunter
it.
Birch Simulation.
Yes, because
as Wozniak taps the Honda Civic and spins it round.
Great way to end. Right, I will see you soon.
See ya.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great second race.
Oh, the Lada completely wrecks Wozniak.
Yeah,
Wozniak
me.
Does a little breakdance. Anyway, bye, Josh. Let's let you leave
bye,
before anything
goodbye,
more dramatic
everybody.
happens.
User disconnected from your channel.
So there you go, everyone. What a first race we've had, but the action's not over yet. We've still got a whole other race to come. Fortunately, I don't think anyone is going to join me, at least not that I know about. Hook Springs Eternal. Probably not a good idea to try and get any interviews because everyone's in the driver's briefing at the moment. But let's refresh ourselves with the final results then. So, it is Gilhead who takes victory. Fabian Ballet takes second. Alex Hallows third. Mikhail Wozniak fourth. Francisco Perez fifth. Peter Schumann sixth. Hallam Voice seventh. Pascal Egger eighth. Barry Sedland ninth in the end. Didn't quite get Pascal Egger. Nick Homewood 10th. Just ahead of Vince Boris. Hurt Blahoven 12th. Nassim Alawai 13th. Luca Gray 14th. Staffan Nilsson 15th. Kevin Features 16th. And Alan Holden, first retirement, just before Features. So Alan Holden will be our reverse grid pole sitter ahead of Features, Nilsson, and Gray. So Gillard is going to have to do something quite special to win this next race. But wait patiently as the driver's briefing continues. So, as Josh and I were just saying, we're going to enter our own team into the World Touring Car EERC Support Series. That's a team for young drivers, I think, called Birch Hunter Simulation, or BHS, for sure. The BHS sale is now on. Everything must go. But yeah, that's going to be very exciting to see how they fare. Will there be teams in this touring class, or would it just be individuals? Well, if there are teams, we want to enter one. And who knows? Maybe we could enter the full series in the fullness of time as well. But anyway, it will be very interesting. I guess there's a sort of mini championship going on here. Gilhead will be looking to win. But of course, having Ballet and Alex Hallis may be difficult nuts to crack. As all, have we crashed? We may have. All good. Yep, we've definitely crashed. So we'll be working to fix this and get you into the beginning of race 2 as soon as possible. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Hopefully we're not going to reveal the sort of on stream for the server. Right, let's see if we can. I might have to leave very briefly and get to the driver's briefing, but I'll be back very soon.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, the server is just being restarted. It wasn't just us being kicked out there. Yeah, let's see if there's any interaction in the chat that I can interact with. I hope you enjoyed race 1 though. So looking forward to reverse grid once we got everything set up. Certainly a lovely way to spend your Thursday night. Carl Bori said, I think Geelhead is going to win. I think it's probably a good prediction to make. A. Savara says, good evening all. Nice series, or series is, which I guess is accurate. Just one question. I tried to join the Discord channel, but is the invite expired? Thank you. No worries, A. Savary. We can invite you back in. But anyway, just waiting to be let back into the server. Should be any moment now. There we go. We got a brief look at the fence. So everything's just getting ready for the reverse grid race. And as previously stated, it's going to be, I believe, Alan Holden on the second row, just behind Vici. I'm not sure, depending on who retired first, who's going to take reverse grid pole. So those who DNF'd will be allowed to rejoin for the second. Confirmation of that is just showing up for me. So I think it'll be a reverse grid of everybody that finished then. I think that means Allis would be on pole then, the reverse grid. We'll have to see just what the grid ends up being once this warm-up finishes in about 7 or 8 minutes. Certainly Hallows, as we look at him circulating at the moment, on a high after that podium. Looking to keep the top two behind him from the previous round. Going to be difficult. So all eyes on the front, but also keep an eye on what's happening at the back too, because that's going to be engrossing. Well, we look at the Volvos going around. Not a great round for Volvo, but the reverse grid should serve them a little better. I think they've got at least one car on the front row, so that bodes well for the start. Not everyone back into the server yet, just the 12 cars. But hopefully, be able to get them back soon. Let's see if we can make the climbing tower a little more helpful. There we go, should have the splits between each position in the timing tower now. As you see, Luca Gray taking the national circuit. It looked like for a second there. There is certainly a lot of drivers looking to have a much better time in the reverse grid. The likes of Bence Boris, Nick Homewood, Francisco Perez, Peter Schumann, and Luca Gray, of course, we saw having that off at the end. Oh, as you see one of the Volvos having a moment. So they're continuing through Corona. Alan Voice continues his warm-up lap. Certainly the drivers will be feeling a bit more confident now, with some laps under their belt. Know exactly what their machinery is capable of, and what they're capable of, more importantly. But the big test is, can the drivers that finish at the back maintain their position, or will the likes of Sven Gielhed, Avian Ballet carve their way through the field? It's definitely going to be action-packed opening stint to this reverse grid race once it gets going. 15 drivers in at the moment. So we've nearly got all 17 returning. Alex Hallows continuing. Purple first sector, purple middle sector. Current fastest lap, as you can see, is 1 minute 12, I think. Ooh, that sounded expensive. Yeah, there we go. Missing the rear wing. The Chevrolet Cruze coming to grief there. I think that may have been Luca Gray again. Gray still with the fastest lap at the moment. Yeah, so we're still waiting for drivers to come in. 15 at the moment, so there's 2 missing. I think Nielsen is probably one of them. Oh no, he's here. Mistake by me, actually.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
There we go. So, grid being formed up, so if you didn't get in now, it's probably too late. Here we go then. So who's starting at the front? Pretty got in the way. Gearhead, Ballet and Hallows at the very back. Here we go. Holden on pole from Nielsen. And we get going. Through to Redgate. Looks like... Oh, it's lagging horribly for me. So I don't know what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately. There we go. So Nielsen made a brilliant getaway to take the lead from Luca Gray, who looked very determined in practice. Homewood is up to third from about mid-grid. Detterland up to fourth. But it is Geelhead is up to 12th already. Just behind Ballet and Hallows. The vision swapping all the time is there we go. We see a Honda Civic and a Chevrolet Cruze in trouble as Geddeland overtakes Homewood. There we go. So now Sedland will close on Gray. Boros is up to fourth, ahead of Homewood. Once again, the Homewood has got his hands full. Meanwhile, Peter Schumann in trouble. He's lost 2 positions there. Let's look in the fray. As actually Schumann gets past Gray because Gray's serving a penalty. In the pits he goes. Puts Sedland up to second then. As Geelhead is already up to 6th. Behind Perez. Let's see, here we go. Looks like Geelhead has the inside on Perez. And is through. Oh, not quite actually. Quite get the overcut on through the Craner curves. But look, it's all kicking up ahead of him. That's Homewood and Boros still squabbling for position. And Geelhead got the inside into McLean's. Oh, and through he goes. That's a little bump as Pires goes wide, and through goes Peter Schoenman in the larder. The other larder, sorry. And in fact, Schumann has got through. Oh, and a big collision there, the S's. As Geelhead goes down the inside of Schumann for 5th position. And Schumann's still there. Oh, they bump into each other. Oh, and Geelhead spun out. Oh dear. Disaster for Sven Geelhead. He has to get going again, but still plenty of time in the race for him to make that up, but he will not be best pleased with Peter Schumann's conduct there. You know, Staffan Nielsen making a break for it, but only a second and a half ahead of Marius Setterfield. I think Setterfield would be looking very good to win this one. There he is. And look to the outside at Redgate. Is this going to work? Let's have a look. In fact, that might be one of the other Volvos. Yeah, that is not, sorry, the battle for the lead. Unfortunately got my graphic covered up, so I couldn't see the very bottom of the screen there. I'm watching Boros and Homewood. There we go, so it is the two Volvos. Nielsen being caught by Setterfield to the tune of 5/10 on their last lap. And Geelhead's got going again in 13th position, by the way. Dirk Larhoven is already out. Homewood continuing to hold off Boros. Now he's got back through. Oh, and lots of position changes between Schoenman, Hallows, and Ballet. So Ballet up to 6th now. Ballet definitely still a factor. Let's see if we can see any of this going on. Yeah, Sutherland sets another fastest lap, so he's going to take the lead any minute. Schumann, I believe he's just served a penalty for spinning Geelhead around. And there's Geelhead just at the back trying to catch back up. Luca Gray too, not having a great time of it. Not sure why we're watching him. Battle really should be a bit further up. But there we go. Nielsen continuing to lead. But not by a heavy amount. We see something else happening. God, this is so bloody laggy. I can't see anything. There we go. Just watching Alan Holden after being on pole, not having a great run. Geelhead catching him rapidly at a rate of knots. Marius Sederland right behind Staffan Nielsen. The Volvos are going to swap positions very soon. Big gap behind to Nick Homewood. Sederland really being held up now by Nielsen. Ballet is closing up to Voice as well. Big battle down there. Let's watch Sederland. 23 minutes left in the race. He can afford to take his time here, but not too much. So we don't miss the crucial moment here. Oh, Nielsen was very deep on the brakes into the S's. There we go. Sedlin takes the lead round the outside at Redgate. Oh, but Nielsen trying to hold on down the inside as they go through Craner. Oh, this is going to be quite something if Nielsen can hold the lead. He's got the inside. Oh, but for how much longer? Yeah, he has to concede to Sedlin through the high speed. Oh, it just gets a wiggle on. But there we go. So Sedlin in the lead now. And potentially going to pull away. Homeward doing very well to hold on to third. But Ballet is who we should be watching next. As Gilhead has got up to 11th. Yeah, Ballet round the outside of Hallam Voice after waiting for so long. Oh, it's all kicking off at the same time there. Into McLean's. Very neat stuff from Ballet in the Roll Motorsports Chevrolet. Ross, his next target. Can Ballet get onto the podium or win this race? We'll have to see. Oh, penalty for Gray. Which is perhaps not surprising. There he is, being given that penalty just as he caught back up to Pascal Eggert. The Geelhead about to close in on Schoenman. You've seen what happened between these two before. There we go, Schoenman in the red, white and blue Lada. Then Geelhead in the yellow, orange and black Lada. Schumann actually about to attack Alex Hallows. Third place finisher in the last race. Oh, there we go. He spins Hallows round. Another misjudgment from Schumann. Both Hallows and Schumann, I think, coming in to serve a penalty. There we go. Hallows in. So what on earth was Schumann doing there? Just got completely caught out. But through goes Geelhead, so there won't be a battle in the end anyway. Actually, Hallows saying it was a very confusing moment there. But Voice now been overtaken by Nassim Alawai. There we go, so Voice in real trouble. Voice becoming quieter and quieter. And in fact, Francisco Perez is going to get him now too. And Ballet gets Ben's Boris there. Boris just kicked up the dust. And Ballet gets through to fourth position. So Nick Homewood, his next target. Ballet having a brilliant reverse grid race. How far up the road? 20 minutes remaining. He can catch him. Let's have a look. Certainly a couple of seconds or so. But a not insurmountable gap. Yeah, so Ballet about 4 seconds then behind Homewood. You see yellow in the second sector. And in sector 3. So whatever the trouble is, it's carrying on. Oh, there we go. Alawai trying to overtake Boris around the outside at Redgate. Oh, and Boris defends the inside. Let's see if Alawai... Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, big contact there, actually. And let's see. Did Boris survive that? No, he did not. Boris down to 9th. So, yes, Alawai takes 5th position, but that was not as clean as he would have liked it to be. Oh, and this is Alawai and Voice now battling. But yeah, I think I might have had a... Oh, I really caught up very quickly. We go back to Schumann doing nothing in particular, but watching Hallows, Eggert and Boris going 3 wide, and all predictably, Eggert coming to grief. All 3 of them coming to grief, really. Now, the key thing to keep track of here, as we look at craziness happening as Alawai continues to battle Voice, I think it's Ballet catching Homewood. As we see Alawai getting a penalty in 6th, so even if he passes Voice, won't do him any good passing Voice. He's got to serve that penalty. Here we go. This is the one to watch. Ballet now 5 seconds behind Homewood. Homewood not that far behind Nilsson, actually. So we could see 3rd and 2nd change hands. Yeah, there we can see it right in front of him. But I think Fabian Ballet still in the mix here with 17 minutes to go. Geelhead has got up to 6th ahead of Perez. go. There is Homewood closing on second position. Nielsen's lap times have been a bit. Yeah, 128.8, 128.81. It's 128.8 for Nielsen, 128.1 for Homewood. That was 128.0 for Sutherland last time around. But it is Ballet, fastest man on track, 127.0. So we're seeing a freeway fight for second forming as we see more yellows in the final sector. What on earth is going on there? It's almost like after a whole season of 24-hour racing, these guys have forgotten how to behave themselves. Yeah, certainly, Peter Schumann not going to be flavour of the month as Homewood gets a penalty. Not sure what that was for, probably for corner cutting. But surely then, that is Ballet up to third, and Nielsen's going to be very vulnerable as Gilhead overtakes Voice. Voice just sinking like a stone through the order. But that's really sad to see. With Gilhead continuing his progress now. Next car for him is Ballet. Oh, and there we go. Homewood coming in to serve the penalty. There is Gilhead, long way down. So I think it's going to be difficult for Gilhead to get on the podium, but he's certainly recovered well. Recovered a lot of positions, last through to fifth. As we see Homewood exit the pit lane just behind Boyce. No, Perez, sorry, and Gilhead. So now, as we see Eggert continuing to go cross-country at Donington. Not the quickest way around the circuit. And we hear the advertising hoarding taking a big wrecking there. That was, of course, Eggert. There's a penalty for Schumann. Well, I wonder what that was for. But, there we go. Nielsen's just been overtaken by Ballet. So Fabian Ballet up to second position. And we cut to Holden in the pits again. But yeah, there we go, side by side, and Nielsen trying to hold on through the last corner. We just got the inside, but Ballet, brilliant driving by him. He was along side by side through both hairpins there, I think. And Ballet up to second, then through Redgate to complete the move. The auto director keeps cutting us away from these battles. It's so annoying just to watch nothing happening. And now Ballet has got a 4.1 second gap to Marius Sederlin. Can Ballet complete second last to first? That would be quite impressive for the Reading Game Studios driver. Yeah, you can see Sederlin just in the distance. Last lap 128 for Ballet, 131 for Sederlin. 3 seconds slower. This is going to be very close, very quickly. And a penalty for Bence Boros, who's running 7th at the moment behind Nick Homewood. Alex Hallows, I think it just lost out to Boris, so... there we go, they are still battling. Boris will have to come in the pit lane very soon, and there, Schumann comes through too. Yes, I think Boris in the pits. Oh no, he isn't, here we go. Schumann and Hallows having a little fight for 7th position, with Boris taking himself out because of his penalty. Boris not done yet. He has a look at the inside at the S's. Schumann has to defend. And bumps into Alex Hallows. A third incident for Peter Schumann in this race. Oh dear. And the Lada driver continues, but the Ring of Honor driver not really having a race to remember. In fact, he goes to the pits, so Schumann becomes our 4th retirement of the race. But Ballet has got the gap to, is that 3 seconds? So, yes, I think Stefan Nielsen will be doing brilliantly to hold on as we see Gilhead. Gilhead's going to catch Nielsen before the end, I think. Look at the lap times. 129 for Nielsen on that last lap. Gilhead has set a 128, 126 actually. There's Boras holding on from Nassim Alawai, and he lets him through. Look at this train of cars. We have Eggert at the head of it, and Hallows and Gray just behind him. Gray going on the outside. This is a bit risky, Luca. But he just gets by Hallows, who I believe is nursing damage and being taken out by Peter Schumann. Yeah, there we go. As Dedeland gets a penalty. The race leader. So that will hand it to Fabian Ballet. Oh dear, he just had a corner cut too many as Eggert finds himself deep in the gravel. They must have been pushed out there in the little battle. Yeah, Luca Gray now chasing Boris for 8th. But now we see Fabian Ballet looking good to inherit the lead here. So, as the race has gone on, the cleaner drivers have made their way through to the front, and the mistake-prone have found themselves dropping down the order. There we go, Sederland serves his penalty and emerges behind Nilsson. Van Balek. Is he going to lose out to Sven Gilhead too here? Oh no, there's Gilhead. It's going to be close between the two. Gilhead goes for the inside at Redgate. Oh, did he get through? Yes, he did. Let's look at Alex Hallows continuing to fight for 9th against Luca Gray as Boros serves his penalty just ahead of them. But yeah, crucial for Gilhead's race there not to be held up by Marius Sederland, who has to end up slotting behind in 4th. Nikoma doing well to hold off Pires. But now, it's at least 5 or 6 seconds now between Nilsson and Ballet. Less than that between Sederland and Gilhead. Gilhead should start to pull away. But we will see Gilhead catch Nilsson before the end of that, I'm sure. But I think Ballet is in a brilliant position to win this one now. 11 minutes remaining. There's Boros after his penalty, running last. Nothing really going on there. And we see 10 minutes remaining. Pires still trying to battle Nick Homewood, but not getting any closer at the moment. And Gilhead continues to close on Nilsson, but Ballet about 5 seconds up the road. So it really is turning into the same battle from before. Alex Hallows, the big loser from the first race, 3rd now. Homewood gets a penalty, another penalty I should say. So 5th place is not going to be his for much longer. And I don't think 2nd is going to be Stefan Nilsson's for much longer either, although Nilsson has done incredibly well to stay out of trouble for this long. The podium is still on for Nilsson if he can hold off Sederland. This is great. Just behind Alloy. And there we go. Homewood reaches the pit lane. So Alloy is going to come up to 6th. Pires up to 5th. Eight minutes 45 seconds remaining. Yeah, there we go. Luca Gray gets past Homewood as well. Alex Hallows decides to call it a day and DNFs. Can Gilhead get 2 wins from 2 here? That would be quite something as Homewood emerges in 8th in front of Eggert and Boris. Only 10 drivers remaining in the race now. Yeah, Gilhead looking good. He can get into 2nd place. Of effectively being the overall winner of the event, in the best position across the races. I think Ballet 2nd in the he was 2nd in the first race. So at the moment, Ballet looking good, but Gilhead could take it away. Oh, as Nilsson picks quite a linear line there. And has a meet of contact with Gilhead, but Gilhead is going to go around the outside at Redgate and tuck in. Not much Nielsen could do there. So Gilhead up to second then. And it's 5 seconds. He's got 7 minutes to close. 7.5 second gap between himself and Fabian Ballet. I don't think he'll be able to do it. But Gilhead will certainly give it his all. And now Sedland looks to catch Nielsen. Certainly keep an eye on that battle between the two Volvos. Sedland passed Nielsen earlier. Could well have been in the mix for the win, but not at the moment. As Alloy continues to hold off Luca Gray. Doing an excellent job, Nassim Alloy, in his first EERC event. Didn't have great luck in this first race, but in the second race, as we see, Nick Homewood pushing to catch up to the both of them. But we could see a battle for sixth here in these closing stages, as Luca Gray is right behind Nassim Alloy, continuing to hold off the Chevrolet, but the Volvo looking very vulnerable. Good defensive driving actually there from Alloy, but he will be vulnerable into the hairpin. Luca Gray has the inside line. He's going to take that sixth position from the Volvo. It goes very deep into the hairpin actually, and through back goes Nassim Alloy. Good defensive driving by Alloy, but Homewood will be licking his lips at this. As Luca Gray goes for the outside line, but that becomes the inside line on the exit. He's got a great run onto the main straight as they go through the start and finish line. He's going to be on the outside for Redgate though. Let's see what he can do here. Right in the bumper of Nassim Alloy. We go through the corner curves. And he's shadowing the Volvo's movements perfectly. As Sedland has catched Nielsen. So as we see Sedland getting another penalty actually, so that doesn't matter. Let's go back to the Luca Gray battle. There we go. There's a car stationary by the side of the circuit. I wonder if that's Pascal Eggert. Oh no, it isn't. It must be one of the Chevrolets. Penalty for Gray. Gray will lose that sixth position then to Nick Homewood. Yes, it was. I think it was Alloy in trouble, potentially. As you see Nick Homewood watching Alloy and Gray continue to battle. Listen to that. Engine not sounding too healthy. But yeah, Nick Homewood firmly in this battle now. I apologise if I'm a bit behind, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Luca Gray still not able to get through, and he will have to serve that pit stop. And in fact, Homewood overtakes him before they get to the pits. Luca Gray emerges back in 7th. Francisco Perez is now up to 3rd. It must have been Nielsen who we saw by the side of the road there, so some terminal issue affecting him. That's a big shame. 3rd looked on the cards for him. 3 minutes 40 to go. Perez is going to take 3rd because of Sedland's penalty. But Sedland's only just come out ahead of Nassim Alloy. Alloy not too far off the podium. Very impressive little drive by him. Nick Homewood looking good, like he fancies 4th as Luca Gray slows to a crawl, I think. Unless I'm lagging really heavily here. I think it's going again. What kind of shenanigans are going on here? Having ballet. I think Luca Gray wants a little battle in these closing stages. As ballet carries on. Just a few minutes to victory for him. But any small mistake and Gilhead will get him as Gray battles with Eggert and Boros. In fact, they both breeze past him. There we go. Not much that Luca Gray can do, I'm afraid. But Eggert and Boros having a great little scrap for 8th position. Oh, and down the inside they go. This could let Luca Gray pass both of them again. 3 wide. Oh, wow. Some entertainment in the last few minutes of this race. Eggert's got the inside, though, but can he keep it? Oh, Boros heavy on the brakes. And that will let Gray through the inside. Still battling as they go through the Craner curves. Luca Gray on the outside of Pascal Eggert. Not quite able to get through. And meanwhile, Homewood continuing to fight for 5th. Last lap time, Fabien Ballet 127.7. Sven Gilhead 129.2. So I think Ballet has got him here. But Alloy still fancies around at Sutherland for 4th position. And here is his last lap, 128.9. Which is still faster than Alloy, Homewood and Sutherland. But yeah, this is really the big battle, apart from Eggert, Gray and Boros, who are almost synchronized swapping positions at this point. Oh, big mistake actually from Sutherland, and that lets Nassim Alloy through. So Sutherland just went wide at Redgate, and that has Alloy through to 4th. Can Homewood take advantage as well? Boros continues. Not looking too healthy, that car. But Homewood, as we see Boros getting a penalty for something or other. Presumably track limits. Donington, difficult one to stay within the track limits for these drivers, it would seem, as we enter the last 30 seconds. Ballet, I think, now on the final lap. There we go, he's just starting it. So, a dominant drive then. He's going to win by 11 seconds, almost the gap the Gilhead had on him before. So, the position's reversed. They're gonna, I guess they were both the winners and both the 2nd place finishers, as Boros, who's down in 9th. But Fabien Ballet, who took 2nd place in the EERC 24 Hours of Spa, is now going to take his first EERC victory, even though it is just a test race here at Donington. And a brilliant drive. He stayed out of trouble. He made the moves when he needed to. And it goes from the penultimate place on the grid all the way through to the top step. And Sven Gilhead didn't have an answer in the end. Ballet was just too strong. So, going through the last 2 hairpins then into Melbourne. And the Chevrolet does not slip up at the final hurdle. It stays true to the course. And Fabien Ballet takes a brilliant victory in EERC TCR to end the meeting. And what a fabulous reverse grid race that was. The Honda not quite going to be lapped here. But there we go. Ballet crosses the line and takes victory at Donington Park. As Alloy and Sutherland continue their battle for 4th position. There we go, right together at the S's. And Homewood's going to get in on this as well. Down the inside of Sutherland, Gilhead takes 2nd position. But Homewood fighting for 5th here, and Sutherland's going to be closing in with all he's got here. But Homewood has got the slightly better run. Sutherland's just going to have to hold on here. Alloy's got Francisco Perez takes 3rd though, by the way. But Alloy will take 4th. Oh, and Sutherland dives in. But is Homewood going to take 5th at the line? Here we go, side by side. Oh, but it's Sutherland who holds on. Wow, what a finish there. 5th for Marius Sutherland, and Homewood, the poor luckless Nick Homewood, just misses out. And we'll have to settle for 6th. Luca Gray will take 7th. Pascal Eggert 8th, and Bent Boros a distant 9th. And they will be the final finishers then, with Stefan Nielsen, Alex Hallows, Peter Schumann, Alan Voice, Alan Holden, and Joe Blahoven, your retirements. Here comes Luca Gray through to the finish, just ahead of Pascal Eggert. Disappointing for Luca in the end, but at least it's over now. And there we go. So Ballet looking delighted and spins off at the S's and goes upside down. Whoa, Eggert joins him at Redgate, doing the same trick. Well, that was entertaining. So hopefully we can have a little look at the final results then of that reverse grid race. Oh, as you see, Eggert continuing to explore the limits of our
User
Factor
joined
2's
your
physics
channel.
engine. Oh, there we
Hello,
go.
Ed.
Oh, Nick has just joined us. Well, that was quite an ending, wasn't it, Nick?
Yeah, pretty close.
Almost got Mary Sutherland at the end there. I was saying I was regretting wishing you good luck in that first race because it seemed like everything got thrown at you.
Yeah, I got getting penalties. But...
Yeah, 2 penalties there, so unlucky. I guess that was for corner cutting or cutting the track.
Yeah, we said it a bit too harsh.
Also,
It was 3 instead of like 10.
But,
So-
there we go. So,
Was it enjoy watching it?
oh yeah, definitely. It would have been nice to have a co-commentator for the reverse grid race, but Josh had other commitments, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fair enough. Nice to have him for the first race anyway. So let's just go through the final results. Do you want me to do the honors, Nick, or would you like to?
Oh, no, guy, you've
How
got
about
more,
you
more
do
practice
you?
than me.
I'll do the other drivers. You do you.
Okay.
So Fabian Ballet takes first for Reading Game Studios. Sven Gielhed for Iris takes second. Francisco Perez for Fruna Bond Racing takes a great third position. Out of nowhere, really. Perez climbed to third. But let's not forget Ballet and Skillhead from the back row to the front. Nassim Alawai in his first meeting takes fourth. Brilliant driving near the end there. Sutherland had a few mistakes there, but just held on to fifth from the man next to me, Nick Homewood.
Yeah, me. Best team ever, Fine Bond.
Yep, there we go. You did take a podium, so it's not completely wasted.
Yeah, and
meeting.
Marius is Fine Bond as well. We're
Oh,
everywhere.
that's true. Oh, okay. I should remember that, yeah, because I've seen Marius drive for Finavon before. Luca Gray takes 7th. Pascal Eggert takes 8th. And Ben Boris is our final finisher for Paul Street Boys in 9th, with our retirements being Stefan Nilsson. And we go to the next page, we can see the others. Hopefully you're seeing that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm seeing a black screen, so I think we've just been kicked out.
There we go.
But there
Right
we
now.
go. So if my end catches up, I can actually. There we go. So Alex Hallows retired in 11th, Peter Schumann 12th, Alan Voice 13th, Alan Holden 14th, and Joe Blahoven, the first retirement of the race, down in 15th. So I don't think there are many people left standing. We could try and invite some people in. Is
I'm not.
Ballet,
I think
is
everyone
Ballet
left.
still around? Let's invite Ballet in. Let's add him as a friend. That may make him more likely to.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello, we've just been joined by reverse grid winner Fabian Ballet. Hello, Fabian. Earth to Fabian, are you there? Hello.
Yeah, sure, I muted myself.
Sorry, I wanted to talk to you especially because we didn't get to talk to you after 24 hours of bar, where you finished a brilliant second, and now you go one better in the reverse grid race we've just had. That was fun, wasn't it? Penultimate position all the way through to the very front. So lots of interesting moments there, but you really just stayed out of trouble and set the lap times when you needed to, didn't you, Fabian?
Yeah, mostly stayed out of trouble. Start was a bit tricky with all the cars in front. Was able to keep it clean and gain from some drive-through penalties ahead of me.
Okay, so would you like to do more touring car racing, or are you touring card out? Are you thinking this might be a good thing to do in between the races next year, or as sort of warm-up?
Well, the cars are fun to drive. The track wasn't the best, obviously, but racing was good. I think the cars handled quite nicely. And yeah, can battle quite hard with them.
Okay, so some good fights then. So I'm going to see if we can invite any more in. I'm hoping to get Marius Sederland in because of that finish with Nick Homewood. So.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh, sorry. I should have read your message there, Marius. Sorry. I didn't realize you were busy. Okay. Let's get Nassim Alawai in.
User disconnected from your channel. User was moved to your channel.
So sorry about that. We've just been joined by Nassim Alawai, who's taken 4th place in his first EERC meeting of any kind. Brilliant drive, Nassim, to take 4th near the end there. Very chaotic race, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. Yeah, it was indeed chaotic. Sometimes you're driving and suddenly you get clipped by a car, you know, you know what can happen, you know. But it was still good. It was still a lot of fun. I loved it.
Your voice is a bit echoing, distorted, and loud on my end, Nassim, but I made out what you said loud and clear at least, so...
I'll work on it.
Okay. Well, I might just turn you down on my end. Oh, I've got you plus 11 decibels for some reason. That might be why.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, all right. Good to know.
Okay. So, with everything that was going on there, a lot of people are complaining about corner cuts. I know you had a bit of trouble in the first race. You were doing really well, and then you got taken out.
Yeah.
So, did you feel like that second race went much smoother for you?
I wouldn't say smoother. I would say I got somewhat lucky.
Yeah, especially with Sederland getting that penalty near the end, put him right next to you.
I got a penalty as well, though. I got a penalty, I think, for cutting in that, because it looked like you could go a little bit wild on the first one, but then not in the second one. Then in the race, you cannot just go with what you gotta go. You gotta you're on something and somebody's behind, somebody trying to attack. It's all over the place, but what can I say? A lot of fun.
Oh well, great to hear you had a great fun time.
Absolutely.
So Nassim,
yes.
What are your plans for 2022? Would you like to do more touring cars, or have you got an eye on being part of an endurance squad as well?
Oh, we're looking at the endurance.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's hope we can find a great team for you. Me and Josh were just talking about entering our own team into the touring car category, and we get new drivers to compete for us. Sorry, bit of a distortion on someone's end there, but that's cleared up. We were going to get some new young drivers to drive for our commentator team. I think we were going to be called Hunter Birch Simulation after our surnames, or BHS for short. And you might be an interesting pick for driver after that performance. We'll have to see. Keep in touch. I'm not sure if they're going to be teams for the touring cars, though. It might just be individuals. But I hope there's more of a team affiliation, because that makes things a lot more fun if you get into 2 cars.
I sure do hope so.
Yeah, me too.
There should be teams. Hoping we can do it with full skins and everything for teams to enter.
Oh, awesome. I'll have to hurriedly make a skin and learn how to make one. Then I'll hire someone to do one for me. But anyway, that's your lot, really, from Donington Park. We don't know when next season's going to start, but it should be sometime in either January or February, I think.
And we hopefully have another test race.
Of course, another
in
test race of touring cars.
Probably the British touring cars this time.
Okay, and less severe corner cut penalties, I imagine.
Maybe we'll do not kill.
Well, get ready to see the wheels leave the ground, basically. We saw a bit of that at the end, with drivers after the race deciding to play with the physics engine by going deep into the gravel trap and flipping over and doing breakdancing. But hopefully we see a little bit more realistic physics at not kill. Yes. So congratulations to Sven Gielhead and of course Fabian Ballet, who's still with us and just heard me say congrats to him.
Yeah,
we'll be back in another race in November to see if we can get British touring cars nailed down. But we hope you enjoyed our 2 races here from Donington, and we'll be back for more EERC action very soon. So stay tuned. From me, from Joshua, and from the rest of the team at EERC, it's goodbye, and see you next time.